unblock for your peace of mind so that you can live long. Just block and unblock.
Block and unblock.
Carry too much pressure. What you can't do. Even your younger ones, they are not your children. They are your father's children. It's your father's responsibility to raise them. If you cannot raise them, then let him not put the pressure. If you can, do what you can. If you cannot, please block and unblock.
Block.
Thank you.
All right. Miriam says block and unblock. But that might be whilst I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but don't forget we are coming from a society, and this is not a Nigerian thing, it's an African thing, where the children, particularly the older ones, naturally had responsibilities to the younger ones. Interesting times.
You are tuned in to
Nigeriainfo.
I like to believe that those people who send me these questions on WhatsApp haven't had the information before. All right, so the draws for one play come up on Hello Port Harcourt towards the 11 o'clock mark. So around 10:40 or 10:45, more like 10:45, 10:50 a.m. we're going to do our first draw. I have two draws, I believe, for today. And then before 12, we'll definitely do the draws this morning. Don't forget to be part of the live draws. All you have to do is to get your ticket for 500 naira using the website, which is oneplay.ng. Or if you don't have a smart device, use the USSD code *347 *880 *6#. All right. So once again, I have 50,000 naira to give out this morning, and the only way for you to get it is to join in and throw your hat in the ring. I look forward to calling you, and making some change today. Put that extra spring in your step, right? Okay. Now, speaking of extra spring in our steps, there are very interesting ways people are trying to make ends meet in our country. But whilst that is commendable, particularly the legal means, sometimes the pressures, particularly on the young student, can be overwhelming. Parents, guardians, family members, even siblings, unbeknownst to them, are causing undue harm to their loved ones. So those of you who are listening, if you're fortunate enough to have an older cousin or an older brother who probably works, in Nigeriainfo, or probably works in one of the IOCs, or maybe works at a bank, right? We have all had those experiences. You're working, next thing somebody calls, it's my younger sister, it's my younger brother. Brother, please, there's no chicken in the rice, so we need chicken. Or I'm in school. We don't have, they say we should buy this form, they say we should buy this manual. I was in school, I experienced that as well. There were times when there wouldn't be up to 100 naira in my back pocket. 100 naira will not be in my back pocket. And you look around, no uncle to call, sometimes you just, all right, so what do I do? Now, imagine being in that situation, and you now have, fortunately, I didn't have younger ones who were, clawing at my neck, fortunately. But imagine imagine friends, and I knew friends who were in that situation. I knew people in Uniport. I didn't go far. Uniport, just down the road here. I knew people back then in 2010, 2011, 2012. I knew people who were in school. They were selling cakes. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a business. In fact, it should be encouraged. But you see, whilst they were doing all those things, it wasn't for themselves. They were sending monies home. And then there were those who were fortunate enough to have parents who could pay their school fees, give them a good lifestyle. Every 3 weeks, your CGPA, if it's not up to 4.2, if it's not up to 4.0, if it's not up to this, don't forget, if you don't do it, we will not take you abroad. There's pressure. I understand there's good pressure. But a lot of the pressure some of these young people, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe, are experiencing is causing a lot of problems. We have mental health challenges. It's led people to crime and criminality. It also led people, interestingly, to have a fracture in their relationships with their parents. Today, our first caller said, block and unblock for your own peace of mind. I don't know how many of you, young people, whether you're married or not, have the nerve to do so. Maybe you should. It's not. I have no say in this. But the question still remains: how are you managing the pressure from your parents?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk. On 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
017-923-0002, 017-923-0003, 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH. All right, WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. All right, now Caleb here says, good morning. I believe one of the problems that we have in this country is the pressure from our parents. I put it to you that many of those people who are into drugs, who have joined gangs, or even who are even into advanced fee fraud, aka Yahoo, yes, we used to call it 419 back then. How many of you remember? Anyway, let me read the message. Those people who are into advanced fee fraud do so because of parental pressure. Everybody wants to come home and feel loved, and the parents are doing absolutely nothing to help those children. Imagine coming home and your mother is telling you that your friend who used to be in the next street has now bought a new car. What am I meant to do with that information? Parents are the problem in this country. Caleb, that's a very strong statement. And I think it's an overgeneralization, Caleb. Right? I could be wrong, but I think it's an overgeneralization that parents are the problem. Yes, parental pressure is real, but I don't know. I think it's an overgeneralization, if you ask me. All right, 01792300002, 01792300003. We're talking about parental pressure this morning. And let's get to our social media handles, Facebook and on X. All right, and on X, at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. Adi OKOCC says, the parental plus economic pressure and hunger pressure, no human can manage it. But some people can, some people are. Don't get me wrong. Okay, Cici, I think you're very correct. Parental pressure is there. The economic pressure is there. You know, we went from buying fuel for 145 naira to buying it now at 900. In fact, one point in time was 1,200, 1,300 naira in this country. There's no doubt about that. But a lot of people, are still here, and they're still pushing. I know I'm not making an excuse, please. I'm not saying that because we have accommodated that should be the norm. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. But those people who are, they are doing something right. So what are they doing? How are they coping with these types of pressure, particularly the parental type? All right. Let's continue our conversations this morning. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. Jude, good morning. This one here, my page, says, some asking his son to do whatever he can to help him finish his house. The son is not up to 21 years of age and is in university. What does he want his son to do? John is on the line from Ada George. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, George.
Good morning, please.
Yeah, well, to me, I think the pressure isn't coming from the parents. Isn't it? Even if there are parents that pressure their children, it shouldn't be up to 10%. It shouldn't. But what is happening is peer group factor. If you look at those children that are perpetrating this 419, blaming in their home, they try to give it a name that looks modernized. So it's 419, whether you like it or not. And it's criminal. You go and collect somebody's money who have sweat, suffered to work for. You go and collect the person's money, and you come and use it to live a flamboyant life, and you call it Yahoo. What is Yahoo? So it's the peer group. Look at the age bracket of those children. Look at their age bracket. All of them are less than 23 years old. Almost all of them. Less than 23 years old. So when you come back home from holiday and you see that your friend who you wrote YA together and never went to school is not driving a Lexus or a Benz, what will you be thinking as a student? You went to school, you went to university, only to come back home. I'm using my community as an example. I went home in December, and almost all the children I used to know to be stupid and wayward are now building houses and driving what's it called? Lexus. Almost all of them. So what are they doing?
Well, wait, John. To be fair, let's not all lump them up and say they're all into advanced fee fraud. But like you said, it's very possible that for that group, maybe it's not just parental pressure. But John, please just indulge me. Let me read a message for you right now that just came up to our device. It says, "Good morning, Jude. Parents are putting a lot of pressure on their children. Imagine parents telling children that they must come out with 100% all A's or all B's. If not, they will not get into a very good school. That is undue pressure from parents." What do you think about that, John?
Well, dude, you as a father, you will not advise your daughter or your son to go to an exam hall and score a C. So, to me, see, all of these things are just a nomenclature name given to a lazy attitude. You understand? When we are going to secondary school, they used to flog us in the secondary school. But now, when you flog a child or call him, you bully him. They have given a lot of names that doesn't even exist now to try to correct the child. What is wrong with the father telling the son, you must come out with A's, even when the father knows that you will not come out?
But all A's, John, that's the question. There's nothing wrong with coming up with A's. I agree with you. Encourage the child, push the child, but when you tell the child you must come up with all A's, isn't that a lot of pressure?
It's not a lot of pressure. It's never. The father knows because he wants the best for his child. So you not tell your child to go after spending over 200,000 to register for WAEC. You not tell the child go and whatever result you come out with, we'll manage it. Which responsible parents will do that?
Okay.
So it's not about pressure. It's people that are giving this name to suit their lazy attitude.
Okay.
You are bullying, you are doing this, you are doing that. All of those names is just to suit their lazy attitude and to massage their ego. Why are students no longer being flogged? The students now, they are pampering them. Are they more intelligent than all that were disciplined in the secondary school? They are not. Look at the rate of failure. You say jam this. Even let me tell you, there is no child in this Nigeria out of 5,000 students that are writing WAEC. If you leave 4,000 to write that exam on their own, they will not pass. They must have assistance. If we start assistance, 4,000 will pay that WAEC. Almost everybody now is going to miracle center. What are they going there to do?
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean miracle centers? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Miracle center is, why would a child go to secondary school from SS1 to SS2, and by the time you want to register WAEC, he will change that school? Why is he changing the school?
Okay, special centers, you mean?
Miracle center where he will write and make maybe all the A's, all the leave school and not to write WAEC too. They will not pass. I am giving go to any of these schools. WAEC is a standardized examination. If you allow students to write this WAEC, only few good private schools will make WAEC, and there are exceptional courses that they will still rally themselves to assist each other. They will not pass. And you expect a father to now go and spend 200,000, and you come and say because you put pressure on me. That is why I pay.
Okay.
My papa tell me, why would they go invest? He say, hunger don't make person feel like that.
John, thank you very much. Zai's on the line from GR. Zai, good morning to you.
Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please.
The teachers are the problem.
Of the pressure the students are feeling?
Yes, are the teachers. The teachers, a lot of them are not qualified to be teachers. A lot of them are not motivated to be teachers. The reason they're in that classroom is because they don't have that prospective job they expected. That glorified job they needed wasn't coming. Government employ you, no could go manage teaching now. Any way you come out, you have already sent a disaster to the classroom that's going to promulgate children. Don't forget, psychology said that the minds and the brains of the child are plain slate, which they call the tabula rasa. What you write in, that is what they grow with. The teachers of today, a lot of them are psychologically battered, emotionally, financially, academically, and otherwise. And look at the evil they are injecting into the society. Haven't you heard that teachers that go come school, write their name, then go back?
Wait, hold on, sorry. We've heard that, but are you in your surmise? Are you saying that the stories, the ones the parents telling their children, bring money? Their children are in school. They're telling their children, bring money so we can eat at home. They're telling children, your brother is sick, send money. These are people who are in year 1, year 2, year 3, pressurizing them to do what the parents are meant to do.
Coming to the discourse, let's look at it from the fundamental, from the beginning, the definition. What of this pressure on children? These children are not well trained or well taught in the classroom to manage stress, to say yes or no. Some of them even grow out of puberty to become adults. In fact, the present society now is boring being a child. It's very boring. Everybody wants to grow old immediately. Now, that is the kind of a child that will accidentally become a mother, because in most cases are lied with the woman that suffers with it. Even the man who pregnated her at that teen age will run away. There is a vicious cycle of illiteracy and poverty which we are dealing with. Until we break that cycle, the pressure on children will continue. Sir, it was a few days ago, was it fortnight, on one of your eye reports, and I told you that the large majority of our sisters and daughters in university, they are into prostitution. The large majority of them are into prostitution. Are they paying their bills?
Can they pay their bills? Good question.
Mr. Zion.
All right, thank you very much. Samuel's on the line from LMS. Samuel, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
I just in line with what Mr. Zion has just said now. The teachers that could be this because I've been affected in somehow about 5 years ago. Then I think they want to write exam. They want to write to ahead. At that time, I think there's not much work. I'm somewhere that and I don't have any money. So the center they want to read now, they said I will not mention the center. So they will be bringing 3,005 for every subject. I told my daughter, I don't have any money now. So what do we do? Okay. They will work it now. They don't have. I know that they don't have money. There's no way to talk for that money. They think they will write every hour. Do you believe if they want to write every speaker, they will stand them up for 30 minutes?
They told your children to stand up because they did not pay.
Yes, okay. I'm telling you, I'm under open letter now. I'm not telling you lies. They will stand them up for 30 minutes because they will not allow them to enter the example. So the funny part of it, you believe when I want to write the literature, they are students. It's only 2 of them that did not play literature. The other people they say they will write the wire again. They write that wire again. So the only those two of my daughter, they did not write them because they did not pick, and they did not choose what this to them. The higher regulator or the assistant of this state. Yeah. They don't choose to write this one. And that is the part of their failure in that subject. So the teachers should contribute into this thing. What this our sister just said that the children should be on
block, yeah.
Well, it's individual this thing. If you know the way your parents raise you and the opportunity to have something to help them, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't think so. But we're talking about children who are still in secondary school, in some cases still in university, and their parents are telling them send money home so that we can eat, so that we can pay power bills, so we can buy water, so we can even buy clothes.
No, I'm not in support of that. I'm not in support of that. Why do I tell those children to get that money?
That's
they are telling them money. They are doing
Well, but that's exactly what's happening. Salman, thank you very much. Lawson is on the line from Port Harcourt. I'll read your message. Lawson, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. On this issue, firstly, let me address the one of parents saying they were also at the top of their classes. That perhaps it will be on the approach or the way the parent may have expressed it. But the end thereof, I think, is to spur on
the children
to encourage them that, look, there are no failures or there are no middle grounds in the family. We have all been doing tops. Therefore, it's expected of you to do like some kind of, let me put it, healthy competition. Sort of, yes. Let's look at it from that perspective too, is to encourage the child to do well. But on flip to the other side, where you see parents begin to expect gratification, monetary, and all of that from their children, even at, I don't want to say this, but I know of a lady, whilst we were in the university, she had this pressure. They don't have, just exactly the way you said, they don't have gare at home, they call her. And you begin to imagine. And this aspect is coming from, will I say, family background. It depends on the that family. Sometimes the child gets to a certain age. In fact, once you get to adulthood, they believe that it's now your turn to pay back or to give back to the family. And I tell you, it's even alarming. That's why, like, sometimes we see on social media, parents, like, rejecting gifts from their children who they believe that... and, you know, this is what is even trickling down, even in the government system. You see somebody who is earning a minimum wage and some allowances, highest 150,000, but is building a mansion, is building all of this. Nobody is saying this. So when you see those parents who say, no, I don't want it. And in time past, before now, parents used to say, I don't want your money. How did you get it? I know the level of your income. So until we bring back this attitude where parents will say, I don't want your money. For whatever you want to do to get money that is genuine, everybody will see it, fine. But this one that you are doing out of, somebody in university is driving a car, he now owns a house, he lives, you know, he's dressing up. And the society, we are just now rather praising or have used to acquire it. It doesn't matter. But what matters is that you have arrived. So we need to cut down, or the society need to ensure that we erase this thing within our system. And it's not even the African culture. I don't know where this even coming from.
Neither do I. We'll be back after this break.
The show continues after this break. Nigeria.